I don't need to really care that much about clearing worms in these tiles. They're not improved yet. So I'll leave the rover. I mean, the scout patroller might get a defense bonus. Maybe. This here, so I can see these tiles. It's a fail move. Might be for the best. I don't remember. Was there a mine worm around here I didn't clear? I don't think so, but these turns are moving a little too slow because of all the units I've got one around. At least I can stack them with 1 unit per tile. This would be even harder to manage, which is why that's a freaking terrible game decision in the Civ series, and it needs to be undone. Of course, jackasses made the games didn't do it because it was good gameplay. They did because it made it easier to program the game. Then they were able to argue it was better game design enough that gaslight people into thinking it is, but there's just no way. I mean, propaganda is, I think it's partly the philosophy. You can convince anyone to like anything, whatever nonsense. That's just a farm there. 25, 3. Could do this for a couple turns. That would allow me to possibly hurry the probe team if I wished. I think it would cost 22 energy. What? No, what am I doing? I'll have a mine here soon. And then I'll get more stuff for trading off the nutrients. Probe team here. Worms can't attack monitoring agency with this over here, so completely safe. No chance of it getting wiped out somehow. It does defend the base if there were Spartan probe teams around. I doubt there are. I don't think they even have the tech yet. Here we go. Probe team there. I think this tile can spawn a mine worm. If it can, at least that rover's the stronger of the two. Higher morale, so less likely to die to mine worm. probably want to do a formers after this probe team. Civil Rights Agency. By the time that the form's done, should have 2 minerals. Production. What to do with this former? Could cut back the fungus here. Give me a sec. Took me a sec, but this is the obvious choice. Plant a condenser here. I'll create a 3 nutrient, 1 mineral tile. Use it to help grow Civil Rights Agency faster. Perhaps instead of this, which instead of 1 econ, 1 lab, the lab's not being very cost effective. Anyways, instead of 1 econ, 1 lab, or actually, this is in Golden Age again. Yeah, still 1 econ, 1 lab. And this can be a farm condenser for a bunch of nutrients, and then I could put a mine here and move the sensor array to the rocky tile. It should be rocky and rainy at that point. I suppose that actually means I could just level once and have another 2 nutrient, 2 mineral tile. Consider it to be more worthwhile than 4 minerals, usually. And I consider a nutrient slightly more valuable than a mineral. Always slightly. Not always. It depends how big a base is and how much it's growing. But anyhow. Various different things I could do. Okay, I think this was going south. I forget what the top end of this is. Oh yeah, because I was thinking of loading up this former and having it go here for a condenser. That's right. Or for mine. It's got its uses too. Instead I go here. Work my way around here. So let's see. Turn this 2. Turn that cancer is done. Goes there. I complete a road. I could pick the former up. I only have a third of movement. Still potentially useful, I guess. Avoid for allowing defense of these forests, which can be chewed up by mine worms. And then a rover could attack out here, and if it wins, fall back a tile. If it doesn't, it could go out this way and attack the same turn it got this far. If I wanted to station rover in headquarters, which should also double as police. It reaches size 6, so it maintains its golden age. Yep, road has some use. So let's do this. Yeah, and it does look like the transport module's at the front. Really should be at the back, realistically, if it's like an APC type thing, whatever. So that, you open a hatch and guys can use the vehicle for cover when in a firefight is the idea. That's how that works. Maybe less useful with the high-powered future weaponry. The vehicle get blown up too easy. So you'd actually just want to come out guns blazing at an enemy. Useful in today's tech, not useful in the future is the point. I could try and move the transport here with the former, and if it failed, I could go here. Different options. Many different options. Shh, we're hunting mine worms. Well, that didn't work. I do that? I guess hoping to find another mine worm. Maybe. We had a protection for that rover. I mean that former. Yeah. And this was this. Mine can't reach the base now. At least not a single turn. But another rover could end up skirmishing. If it attacks the scout patrol, there's 2 rovers that can attack it. So, whereas if it keeps attacking this, it can only disengage and come back over and over. It can't actually attack. So, scout patrol is bait. Even if I lose it, this will allow me to get enough energy credits by attacking instead of defending to pay for another scout patrol and then some. And it might win, although unlikely. It feels quite brutal doing this, using a scout patrol as bait, but it works. Hmm. I suppose use the Uni Rover, so if Mine Worm tries to come here, probably attack the Uni Rover, which will disengage instead of the former, which would die. Works for me. Unless it comes from here, then it might not do that, but some odds of it, depending on the angle of approach. Somewhere around here is now the deep. Somewhere. Can't do it. This turn, at least it's not defending on a fungus tile. The Isle of Deep doesn't attack it. It doesn't show up. I can always bombard the mine worm. Long range fire from the ship. All ships act like artillery in this game. Shoot, any longer and I'm gonna have to cut this video. That probably. You know what? I'm on enough of a roll. I'll just cut this video. So looking, I don't know if sometimes I really quickly Alt-Tab, you guys don't see it, but I looked at them an hour and 21 minutes here. Sometimes the screen doesn't show, and you might be wondering why I'm like talking about kind of the video. Hmm.
Turn complete.
Cool. World Health Organization.
Request confirmation.
22 energy for... Right now there'd be 2 mineral overflow. I can live with this for now. Do need more probe teams. Anything else that I might want to hurry? Oh, this probe team.
Request confirmation.
Yes, please. Take greater advantage of the command center, even though it's there mainly for defensive purposes. But I believe it does lead to 1 extra morale level on the probe teams instead of 2 for other units. Don't know why it's not 2, but it's getting... No, I may be wrong about that. Let's see. Hardened. Oh yeah, no, it is getting +2. Sometimes I'm getting disciplined probe teams from elsewhere, which implies it's actually only 1 higher. It's more of those mystery morale bases without command centers than less than expected where there is. Right then. I'll have to revisit Defense Command to change some more nutrient production next turn. Headquarters is growing soon. Lose its golden age without a place unit. It's not worth having a unit just for that, but if I have the units around anyhow. Usually not good to hurry form prototypes. I'm saying formers. Could do that. Two minerals and a lab point for 2 nutrients. Labs don't have an amazing return on investment right now. Two nutrients would, in the long run, cut 2 turns off the growth time. Which probably after this base grows, it'll work a second forest. So I'll get 4 extra minerals and 2 extra energy for every turn I don't work the forest with a delay. It's worth it. If I'm not in a super hurry to get that well done. Two minerals in a lab point for a nutrient. Except I was gonna forest that tile soon. I would just make it equivalent to this. Yeah, also worth the tile while it's not forested. Yeah. Let's get started on this forest.
Turn complete.
Lock that in since I know that's what's coming. Forests have their uses. Minerals on flat tiles. Cheap terraforming. That's terraforming doesn't cost many form turns. Slight reduction, eco damage from terraforming. If the forest isn't being worked, if you work the forest, the mineral income will actually increase your eco damage more in the slight reduction, but a lot more in fact. 16 times more. So 24 times more if you have a plus 50% mineral multiplier, like a Gene Jack factory. So people think forests are great for the environment in this game. Only if it's an extent that the base produces less minerals because you're working forests. Which usually people work forests specifically because they want minerals. It's only got a tiny. Each forest removes an eighth of 8 forests would cancel out an equivalent amount of terraforming damage that would reduce the amount of minerals a base could produce by 1. 1. It's such a tiny effect. It's the equivalent of 1/8 of a mineral, basically, for a forest. But it's good for growing on its own and displacing fungus. And if you get a forest condenser, that's a tile with some good yields. That's 4 nutrients with a hybrid forest. 4 nutrients, 2 minerals, and 2 energy. 3 if it's got a river. That's right. Tree farms just increased nutrient output. At least in the base game. I don't know if they got buffed in Alien Crossfire. I don't remember. Increases nutrient output in forest tiles. Hybrid forest increased nutrient and energy by 1. Turning forests eventually to 3 nutrient, 2 mineral, 2 energy tiles. Add a 4th nutrient, and then you're starting to get reasonably comparable to condenser farms, which are 7 nutrients with the soil enricher, and a mineral if it's on a rolling tile. Still a better tile, but less of a gap. Especially because there's limits on how big you can get your bases until you get half domes. And then pops do require psych points. Anyways. Oh yeah, I almost ended the turn. I will want to do that soon. And mess with defense command. Yeah, I will want to do that soon. But I absolutely need to contact the university and the Morganites before I end the turn. In fact, I might have wanted to do that earlier. Let's get to it. Morgan first, because Zarkov's more likely to do tech trades, and if I have techs Morgan wants, he'll ask for them. Ah, the Humane Commissioner Law, first among peacekeepers. Yeah, people think he's a nice guy just because he uses nice words. No, Morgan is an evil douche. He just uses nice words because he knows that there's no, at least in his philosophy, words are wind. If you butter someone up, you're more likely to get better deals from them. So he's pleasant, he's courteous, but he's deeply unethical with his economic theories being all about greed and a few people take advantage of everyone else. Well, that makes sense given his background. He grew up in a very poor part of Africa's idea, and he was trying like hell to escape that. So it makes a little more sense than most people who say grew up in the U.S. and turned into billionaire psychopaths. People who escape terrible poverty like that often will do anything to avoid ever risking returning to it. Anyways, the Humane Commissioner Law, first among peacekeepers. I lead the Morganites, and am honored to be their CEO, Morgan. We intend to reap the rightful rewards of skillful investment and planning. You mean the rewards for the very, very rich in your society. And CEO of a country, essentially? Some serious nonsense. Might pathetic. Doesn't show his planetary council votes. Here, that's under his profile, that's right. 6. He has 6 pops after over 100 game years. And he's at war with the Believers. Ooh. Which means the Believers will ask me to join the war eventually. I can say no, though. Without loss of integrity, I'm pretty sure. Might eventually the Believers cancel their alliance, though. I have no desire, though, for a war, so I'll probably just say no, and if Miriam's annoyed with that, maybe I can give her some gifts to keep her happy enough she doesn't break the lines. I don't mind her eventually conquering this guy. Be one less faction for me to conquer. Miriam's never going to be much of a threat. Her research debuff, and she's on a limited size landmass, so she's not that much area to expand. The AI doesn't really know how to terraform the base game. Now, if I was Thinker Mod, her having the island all to herself could be a real issue. Anyways, your so-called pack sister, Miriam, has gone mad and now spends her time pounding her cherished Bible. Won't you renounce your pact with the Believers and to gain my friendship? No. The Believers are loyal allies. Commissioner Law, I've been accused of monopolistic grasping, but I think you will find that I'm a man of reason. Let's exchange knowledge on a quid pro quo basis. I will share my files on industrial economics. Nice. I was going to type that next after my current tech. You, in return, Fully disclose your data on doctrine flexibility. I'll be less annoyed if I accept this than if I do offer an alternative. And hey, if it leads to him building a navy, it might lead to Miriam building a navy. Maybe if the AI is at all reactive, and I want Miriam to have a navy, so she'll mess with the Spartans. That is satisfactory.
Our first challenge is to create an entire economic infrastructure from top to bottom out of whole cloth. No gradual evolution from previous economic systems is possible because there is no previous economic system. Each interdependent piece must be materialized simultaneously and in perfect working order. Otherwise, the system will crash out before it ever gets off the ground. CEO Nwabudu K. Morgan, the Centauri Monopoly.
Let's be building an energy bank, whatever. More importantly, I can run free market and increase its commerce income from treaties and pacts. I may not do free market instantly with the pacifism drones. I've got quite a few rovers outside my territory right now. I wasn't expecting this trade, but I mean, it was only this turn that I met Miriam in the first place, or between turns, between last and this. On her turn, she moved a unit next to mine. So, yeah, once I get the alien artifact units guarding it back, I might consider going free market. It's useful early on. Helps you bootstrap up your industry. Although you can do planned, the difference between free market and planned is if you go free market, you're more focused on developing your infrastructure and tech. If you go planned, more on growing your population. Either one will help you bootstrap your economy early on. Anyways, in the Alien Crossfire, if you democracy planned Golden Age, you can boom pops very early, so that's definitely better than running free market. For the peacekeepers, who can very easily Golden Age. Free drones, to a more limited degree. They have an easier time Golden Age than most factions, but are in the peacekeepers. Because you can't, -1 drone is on a base is useless if there would have been no drones. Early industry on planet, centered on the creation of a frontier industrial base, featuring primitive assembly lines and simple currency instruments. Soon, leaders in the financial sectors push for more comprehensive industrial economics policy to accommodate free trade and other strategies for multiplying capital. Note, for multiplying capital, at least they don't shy away from words that describe capitalism. Free trade, where they build factories where the labor is cheapest, most exploit workers, which allow more profit, some of which will be reinvested in more factories and such, but some will just support the luxury lifestyles of the rich, which does grow that lifestyle. The more luxury goods spending does grow, the more wealth the billionaire class have. Anyways, okay. Discovery of industrial economics allows your colony to make a new social engineering choice. Free market. Would you like to make social engineering choices now? Nope. Well, at some point, Morgan will probably try and get me to switch to that, and could do it to make him happier, to keep him off my back, because he will be annoyed. But my pact with the peacekeepers. Your information on Centauri ecology intrigues me. Are you willing to exchange it for a copy of my world map? I mean, he's already magnanimous, but I'll do it. He'll probably terraform some tiles, and if Miriam conquers him, those tiles will probably still be terraformed, whereas ethical calculus at best will get a challenge crash. And it'll have a few more pops, most of which will actually be destroyed by losing bases. You lose one pop when a base gets captured, and his bases can only have at most 4, so that's yeah. It's a deal. Surprised how few factions have Centauri ecology after all this time. I must caution you, the managers have completed an advanced recon rover prototype. The first units are entering service now, rendering my forces practically invincible. Right. Your faction is indeed a mighty one, Commissioner All, but my forces are yet strong. Might pathetic, not really. He probably has like 3 rovers total. I have 40, and I shall not allow you to plunder the wealth of this planet without cutting me in for a share. My price is your debt on ethical calculus. Really? He's threatening me after all those trades. Again, I don't mind helping the factions to some degree. I was definitely not crazy about it, but if he's at war with Miriam, chances are quite good that Miriam conquers him. Quite good. That said, I don't like the threats. I was willing to give away text for very little. A world map here. Goodwill there. Your faction is no longer significant, Morgan. Friend, well, he didn't even, maybe lost 1 opinion for time now, but he's still at Magnanius. I can offer lucrative trading arrangements if you agree to a treaty of friendship. Shall I become business partners? By all means, let us prosper together in peace. And no interest in going to war with him anytime soon. He'll probably lose to Miriam. Which will, because do or die is off, he'll just restart somewhere else on planet with a colony pod. So won't actually eliminate him, just relocate him unless he becomes submissive to her. Excellent, Commissioner Wall. This treaty demonstrates the planet is large enough for both for your humanitarian initiatives and for my business plans. It also opens the door for trade and commerce between our peoples. May the friendship between the peacekeepers and the Morganites last forever. Be warned, I shall not long tolerate collaboration with my mortal enemy, the fanatic sister Miriam. Yeah, you won't have to, since she'll conquer you. Miriam has more than twice the pops of Morgan. Apparently they have units at the same tech level. Maybe she even has Steel, and no, he has it for sure because the industrial. They have the same military tech. She has twice the population. Ability to support 4 units without paying minerals, so she probably has stronger industry. I wonder if he attacked her. Please call off your vendetta. I'm not gonna ask him to end it. Keeps them both weaker. Encourages the construction of navies that could be used on Sparta. I doubt the AI would be aggressive enough to actually conquer him, Miriam. But she might take a base from him, and it will weaken Morgan. I have a proposal to make. Be amusing to swear a pact to brotherhood. He'd probably break it when I refuse to break with him. Let's see if he'll accept. What do you offer in return? My goodwill and friendship, Morgan. Bold words, Commissioner. Will you back my Protestant vendetta, my bitter foe, the believers? I fear I cannot honorably do so. I told him no. Deny CEO of the Morganites great. You formally as Pat brother. Okay, we shall defend the principles of our UN Charter and dominate the planet's economy. May our forces converge to victory. Huh. Yeah, he agreed anyways. Can see. They're both Pat brothers to me. It still shows the Morgans at the top, but this is data on the believers. Here. Told him no on the better not have. Need comm-like frequencies. You have the Gaians. Probably not in the same land mass, actually. It's pointless to ask him. I have urgent need of energy credits. Need but name your price, CO. Ethical calculus for 25 energy credits. He's non-committal, despite being in a pact. Sure. Some social psych at the same price. He'll give me 179 credits. 3 credits per year for 100 years. That's less than 3% interest rate. 179 credits. I wonder, probably would have loaned me more for the same interest if I had not sold those techs. Yeah, no, not that not when I can get the energy a little later, probably a little more. Does he have any research data for me? Name your price. Cool. Okay. So I got a pact with Morgan and Miriam. That will cause issues eventually. Both my namiest towards me, though. So, yeah, maybe I'll take a loan from Morgan later. When I'm ready to invest some energy myself, while still keeping a healthy reserve to deal with the Spartans.
Request confirmation.
Ooh, 13. I should hurry this. Almost missed that. Anyways, no issues with that. How that went. Uh, I guess I should probably be cutting this video. And next one, I can contact the university after a bit of a rest and getting work on cutting this video in two, getting program on that. Can revisit this and hopefully think with a clear head on diplomacy with the university. But yeah, I didn't mind selling Morgan techs and giving him very cheaply. I wasn't gonna do threats, but 25 energy credits for a tech. Nonsense, because he's tiny. He has all of 2 bases, 6 pops, and the believers will absolutely crush him. The only reason he's probably not crushed is with all this fungus. Marion probably has trouble even getting units to Morgan. She's got way more territory, way more industrial and military capability. And with time, he'll probably be squished like a bug. I won't be crying over it. In the meantime, I may be able to take a loan from him. He's probably got less time to live. I assume if Miriam takes bases and I might lose comlink access with them, I may have to meet him again. No, probably not. So he'll still get the energy back from me. Do or Die wasn't on, and he was captured. I'm pretty sure the loan would cease to exist. Either way, I don't have anywhere I'd really want to spend energy this very second. Certainly not anywhere I'd want to spend it for a yield, for an economic return. Oh. Got this buddy probe team in the works. If anything, probably another former at this base. Investment. Though I say that, and colony pod eventually, I guess I don't need more mineral upkeep. So yeah, I can wait. Oh. I am getting 2 commerce from trade with the Morganites and Believers. It just hasn't updated yet. 3 from the Believers, actually. Sorry, 2 from the Believers, 1 from the Morganites. Yeah, the Believers are actually more lucrative trade partners, and it's more one side in my favor. So, cool. Like trading with the Believers and getting something and they get nothing. Or, well, they get 1 energy, I get 2. Wait, monitoring agency as well? Okay, it's definitely... And headquarters, yeah, they don't get energy, I do. So, cool. Food program is doing formers, which will ultimately help produce food around the new bases will be selling soon. Council does. It's doing formers. What? Another former. A colony pod. Border agency, probe teams, civil rights, probe team, formers actually. Defense command, another ship after a probe team. Hydrology Council could. Yeah, I'll do the probe team and then a former unit. Probe teams have because by the time I get this unit, war might have broken out with the Spartans. If it's going poor way, I can switch that for military unit. By the time I'd reached the point of the first row almost being full, or being almost about to go past full. It's going well. I can start pivoting to, rebuilding after the war and developing capture the Spartan bases if it's going well enough. We'll see. Probe teams have use for getting intel on the Spartans. That is, knowing where their units are, even before the war. All right, well, I wish you folks all the best now. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Till next time, this is Northstar. Good luck.
Please don't go. The drones need you. They look